Hello and welcome on this gloomy morning, for me at least. This is Oshi and this is gonna be another unboxing. I know, another unboxing. Do you still need more decks? And obviously the answer is no, I don't need, but do I want them? Hell yeah. So this deck, the Tarot of the Little Prince, was not a planned purchase. I don't even think it was on my wish list last year, which was like a month ago. But sometimes life happens and you run into a deck on book depository when you're trying to figure out if they ever gonna ship to Hungary again. They are, fortunately. And then I searched for a walkthrough because I was like, oh, Little Prince. I know I read the book, but I was too young. I was like 13 or 14 or something like that. Maybe had to read the book. I think if I remember correctly, it was mandatory at the end of elementary school. But don't quote me that, because me and mandatory books are not in good relationship. I can't read anything if someone tells me you have to read it. So I don't really remember the story anymore. And like I said, I was too young to understand it. At least looking back now, I think I was. I will reread the book while starting to work with the deck though, because I want to understand more of the story, more of the deck. But I do remember that it made me feel a bit sad. You know, that I felt like it was about loss. I think that's how I remember. But like I said, I'm gonna reread the book while starting to work with the deck. I bought this deck in a Hungarian shop actually, and not a second, but for a while I was worried that it might not be a real one, because as I was searching for other options instead of book depository, I found a few Hungarian shops that sell tarot decks, because when I first looked for a specific deck back then, I didn't come up with a lot of options here. That's why I turned to book depository. And mostly Hungarian shops sell Lo Scarabeo decks, I guess, because, you know, it's an Italian publisher, so we can get decks easily from Italy. But I saw on a few sites pictures of, I think what I've seen was fake Chinese made decks. So I emailed this shop and I was like, I'm sorry to ask, because, you know, I'm not even saying that they sell these fakes knowingly, because tarot is not a big thing. So, you know, if someone starts selling them and they claim it's real, they might believe it. But I emailed them and they were like, yeah, other people asked the same question, but we're selling stuff from Lo Scarabeo. And the fact that they knew the name of the company correctly and knew how that this happened and stuff like that made me feel a bit better. But when the deck arrived and I saw that it was a tug box, I was like, oh my god, did I see that it was a tug box in that walkthrough? Or was it not? I didn't check back because I wanted the deck to be a surprise, more or less. But I think it was a tug box. And to be honest, if you look at it, there's this little, you know, Scarabeo, Scarabeus, whatever, bug, and I don't know. It just, I peeked inside the box, and it feels like it's the real thing because it's wrapped separately. So, and the size is not that small size that Chinese decks would make. So let's hope it's the real thing. So yeah, I didn't go as far as opening the deck itself. There was something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so I watched the walkthroughs of this deck. I'm gonna put it here. But to be honest, not walkthroughs, just the walkthrough, and I stopped at the Lover's card, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I have no idea if it's a peep deck or not a peep deck. I don't think it's one. I think it's fully illustrated, but I have no idea, and I like the surprise. So this is the little white book. It's Lo Scarabeo, so you're gonna get everything in like 6 or 5 languages, short yeah, 5 languages, nowhere near Hungarian, because who reads that? And yeah, short description of everything. We don't really need it right now. I'm gonna open the wrapping outside of the camera, because using sharp objects while you're on camera is a recipe for disaster. Please be real. Okay, so this is the side, if anyone is interested. I tried turning on my light for this one, but it made it too exposed, too bright, so I wasn't able to see the illustration better, so I left it like this. Hopefully it's, I mean, on my camera it looks okay, but hopefully it's gonna be okay for you guys as well, because then what was the point? Oh, I think I saw, yeah. Oh no. Oh my god. Isn't it exciting to see something that you haven't seen? So I didn't see this deck used in a lot of videos on channels of people that I follow. This is the title card, which is good for checking edgings and stuff like that. I have no idea. It's a special tarot invitation. Thank you for choosing this deck of magical cards. Is it magical? Oh, okay. It's some sort of a membership, which I'm not going to use, because shipping from Los Caribbean is ridiculous. I mean, I thought that, you know, since they are in the European Union as we are, shipping would be okay, and I could directly order from the company, because that would be safer. But the shipping was more than ordering from outside of the EU, so that makes no sense to me. So, you know, I went with the local retailer, which also fine, because I can help a shop stay in business. I kind of just, you know, feel better about that. But let's go through the deck. So yeah, another one. This is the bag. It's not reversible. The cardstock is not bad. I kind of like it that it's not as thick as most of my decks. Like, for example, the Light Sears it's too thick for me. But I guess some people might have a problem with it being too flimsy. I would say it's similar than my Borderless Deviant Moon, but not as slippery. But we have the rose, obviously, and the moon and the earth, which is pretty cool. I'm not bothered by non-reversible backs, yeah. And this is gonna be a good bookmark. So we have the Fool. It should be close enough for you, so I don't have to really do anything. With the rose here, and of course the Little Prince, and who knows what's inside the box. So it's typical, but it's also, you know, Little Prince. I really like the backs. I haven't seen that in the walkthrough, I don't think, at least. We have the Magician with the fox as well. Oh, and the sheep. I really don't remember anymore about the story, so I definitely have to reread it. So the High Priestess, which is kind of typical, but at the same time in the background there is some illustrations from the story. The Empress, the same one, and I think this is that kind of a deck that reading the book will add so many layers to the meaning of the cards. I will have to check if the creator of the deck you know, has some sort of a guidebook, because that would be, you know, very useful to read by. I think it was a she, because I mean, it's Rachel, Paul, and Martina Rossi, so hopefully one of them is the creator and one of them is the illustrator. I never know, but I'm assuming there's no other person. So, or they, and they can be, you know, creating it together. What I wanted to say is probably, I lost my thought because I was looking at the image, is that you can, you know, get so much more out of a deck if you know why a creator chose what they chose for an image. And I really like this combination of traditional, like here's the emperor that you expect, but here's the little prince on the throne. Like, for me, it talks about the transition that you go from child to, you know, an old person as well, which is really cool. So I think it's a very, I mean, my assumption at first glance is that this is a very detailed and very layered and deep reader. So I'm really hoping it is. And look at this. This was the card, and I was like, stop the video. I don't care. I'm gonna be. I want this deck, and I want the other ones to be a surprise, because his relationship with the rose is pretty much the perfect lovers card for me, because it has the love, but it also has the choice and that choosing the right thing, you know, like all that good stuff about the lover cards. So I was like, okay, I don't care, I want this deck. Oh, the Chariot. So everything from on now on is a surprise for me, as much as it's a surprise for you if you haven't seen the deck. The Chariot with the doves. No, it's not the dove. What is that bird? Pigeon? I don't even know. I don't remember. Strength with the fox, obviously. And look at the fox being so happy to be cuddled. I'm usually a fox when someone tries to hug me like that. Hermit. Oh, looking at the night sky, and there's the snake over there. And I kind of like that he has that, you know, little lantern and trying to illuminate the darkness, but he has the advantage with the wisdom and the age that has better equipment to look at the same thing and see more. So he can teach him so much. And that's one of the things that I read into the Hermit card is, if you're not the one who needs to, you know, teach others, then there are someone who's teaching you. But in this one, you can be both. I'm really liking this deck so far, and we're only on the 10th card. Of course, elephants. Oh, and you know, Lily Prince is sitting on his planet in the middle. That's so cool. Justice. Okay. We'll see, because like, yeah, I'm gonna repeat myself, but I don't remember the story. The Hanged Man. That, oh, with the rose as well. Oh, that's so cool. It looks like a constellation with all the stars on the sky. This is such a well, you know, thought out deck. You can tell that it went so much effort into creating it. Temperance. Oh, the devil. Oh, that's a very good devil. We created society, and that sometimes just makes us do things we shouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying let's go anarchy and, you know, anarchy and abolish everything. I'm not saying that. It's just the strains that we put in place for ourselves sometimes is just too much. The Tower. Oh yeah. That's a good tower as well. The Star. I really like the illustration style as well, because I mean, it doesn't look like watercolor. It looks more like pencil, and I don't know, I will have to check, because at first I was like, oh, it's painting, but it kind of looks like it's part of it, at least, that it was pencil of some sort. So, but yes, yeah. Stop, let's stop. The moon. Oh, and you know, he's playing. And that's such a good metaphor for, you know, our fears sometimes are not what they appear. I mean, it looks like a goat, or, I mean, I would say it's a goat, right? Because it has those horns. Not a sheep, a goat. But whatever, it can be anything that we think it's much more scarier than it is in real life. But we don't see clearly. That's the whole point of the moon card. Did I say how much I like this deck already? The sun. Interesting. No, the sun is there. I was like, no sun, but yeah, it's there. It's coming up. It will give you clarity, and it will help the rose to grow. I really like this scarf thing going on. Okay, Judgment. Sometimes the colorization or whatever, it just seems quite different because the background is more watercolory, but it's not at the same time, I don't know, than on these. But I like the style a lot. Judgment. It's the same with the same people that we had on the Devil, right? Yeah. It's a very interesting thing, connecting with these two cards. I don't mind at all. It's a good thing in my opinion. Okay, and we have the World, which was similar to the Wheel of Fortune. And we're on to the minors. Oh, okay, so it's not Pip. Thank God. I mean, I think I would have been okay with the Pip deck, but after seeing the minors, I'm like, no, majors, I'm like, no, the minors needs to be illustrated as well. So, of course, the Ace of Cups is a cup. I mean, all the little, what is this called in caterpillars? And with the butterflies, and even the step before becoming a caterpillar. So it's the whole thing. Interesting. The opportunity, the option for something to, you know, blossom. Two of Cups with the Rose again. He seems sad. Interesting, because it feels like it's before the relationship starts to blossom, but it feels like it's that stage where he needs to make sacrifices for this to work, which is true for an equal relationship, to be equal. Three of Cups. Oh yeah. Being happy. Four of Cups. Oh, interesting. Trying to water the rose, which is under that glass. I will need to see. Yeah, definitely need some sort of a guidebook or something, because I don't think the guidebook actually says anything about it. Usually it's not. Four of Cups. The Four of Cups indicates a time when we must find love on our own terms in our own way. We may not be ready to receive blessings from the outside. Which is, yeah, the water would be for the rose. From the outside. It is time to find contentment in our own selves, which sometimes comes along with a bit of apathy toward the outside world. Here the rose is shutting out the prince for her own reasons. Okay, thank you guidebook, that made sense. I struggle a bit with the Four of Cups because the original meaning is, you know, being bored and, you know, the apathy card, feeling meh. But I started hearing a lot from other people who bring numerology into readings that it's also the that was hard. The stability, that's why it's just sounds weird. That stable feeling you have when you're in a relationship, and I was like, how can you feel stable at the same time and being bored? But this description for the rose is actually something that I can work with. That's connect the two meanings in a way that I can use it, I think. So I will definitely make notes out of that. Five of Cups. But I still want the detailed guidebook, you know. That's why I will have to fork out the money for the Deviant Moon, because, oh god, that's just so expensive, but that's the only way. Six of Cups. The fox is like, huh? What was that drawing? Seven of Cups. Interesting that we have floating cups around. They all look the same, pretty much. Which can, you know, indicate that you don't really see any option any more different than the other, so you don't know what to choose because they just all seem the same in a way, not in a bad way, but you know, they all seem interesting. I mean, I can read a lot into these cards. Eight of Cups. Oh wow. That's 3, 2, 3. And the ninth is, well, Nine of Cups. Oh, and there are the cups, not just the fence. Of course, the Ten of Cups had to have everyone. And I like how, you know, there's a lot of greenery on the planet as well. The Page of Cups with blue roses. Nine of Cups. Oh, we have a horse. The Queen. These are more traditional, I think. So the young king, but it makes sense for him to be young in this deck, kinda. But you know, there's all these watery elements, so even if he's not in water, wasn't a lot of water here as well. But the roses were blue, so. And we have the Ace of Pentacles with the sheep and a tiny rosebud. Two of Pentacles with the snake inside. Up and down with the airplane. Oh, interesting. The Three of Pentacles is the drawing from the beginning of the book. I will have to check why. I'm not going to, because then this video is going to be forever, taking forever. And you know what? You should get this deck and read it. Four of Pentacles. The Five. With all these branches trying to, slow them down, not get to the well. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, traditionally waiting around to see what will happen. The Eight of Pentacles. Already seeing the result. Though I like it when it's more connected, the two, the 7 and the 8, because the 8 is coming from the work you put in the 7. So when it's a completely different scenery, it's a little disconnect for me. I personally like when decks do follow that. What you see on the 7 you will see in the 8, but just personal stuff. Nine of Pentacles. Definitely looks happy and confident and, with all the money. Independent. Ten of Pentacles. The Page. I don't remember the other characters, so I don't know who these people are, because I know that his father is in some way in the story, I think, but I don't remember. So sorry if I don't this is this and that, because you will see that hopefully by the time I post the 6 month in video, because I'm quite curious how, this is my absolutely official first impression of the deck, so I'm quite curious how my opinion will change after. I love these little sheeps. After 6 months is, just a period when I was able to work with it regularly and I got to know the deck. And a little information, because these little sheeps are so cute. My surname, Dirda, is rhyming with the word Birka, which is sheep, in one of the sheep words for sheep in Hungarian. So I was, other kids called me that when I was growing up, and it was so much fun. I know it could be worse, and it's not very imaginative, but still, they're family now. King of Pentacles. It's interesting that she's younger, but he's older. This seems to happen in quite a lot of decks, that the Queen of Pentacles is much younger than the King, which just, I don't know, it gives me not so nice things about marriages that happened in the Middle Ages and stuff like that, but whatever. That's just, again, me. Ace of Wands with the snake, of course. I like this. This is such a nice image. I mean, these would look good on your wall as a painting as well. Two of Wands. The Tree is not just taking the first steps and, starting a journey, but not in a traditionally just, getting on a ship, but we're starting to work on something. The 4, having a little celebration. The 5. That's a good 5. You can't really tell if they are, you know, playing around or they trying to attack the snake, because it could be play pretend as well. And you can't even say if he's trying to strike the snake or just waiting for the right moment to, you know, protect the snake from him, because he knows more that the snake is just, you know, trying to protect itself. Or that's how I would read it. I will check how the creators read with it. 6 of Wands. Interesting. I'm not saying I don't see 6 of Wands, but I will appreciate more information on it. The 7 of Wands. Yeah, protecting your little planet. 8 of Wands. Oh, that's an interesting but good one. All these energies coming towards something and creating something bigger from that. That's an interesting interpretation of the 8. 9 of Wands. Oh, yeah. And the Rose again as a constellation. I go. You stepped on the snake. So this is the moment after, you know, you're carrying all those extra burdens you shouldn't, and you can't even see the road, and then you're accidentally stepping on a snake and dropping everything, because that happens. Page of Wands with Rock Sword. Are we going to the Rock Sword now? Would be cool. Knight of Wands. I like that. And you know, you can see the passion, the movement on the card. The Queen of Wands with sneaks on the throne. Interesting dresses. And we have the King of Wands. Not that passionate that I usually read, but I kind of like the similarities between these two cards. Again, she's younger. Ace of Swords. So we have the fox for the swords, okay. Which is a good pair, because foxes are cunning and smart and everything that's, you know, thinking and thoughts that connect to the swords. 2 of Swords. The fox is trying to steer the prince. 3 of Swords. No blood, no nothing, just 3. I mean, the rose got caught between them. And there are some leaves already falling down, so yeah, you can see that just one tiny movement and the rose is gonna be dead. But it's not just, you know, it's just hurt. 4 of Swords. Oh, that's a good one as well. You need to take, you know, some rest, even if someone is after you, because you need your strength to continue. And usually when I get the 4 of Swords in readings, it really is that time when someone needs to they need to force themselves to take a moment and just relax and sleep better and change things, that they can get their physical energy back. Because those types of people that got this card, in my personal experience so far, is those people who will just want to do things so that, you know, they can push everything aside and to just solve problems. But sometimes you need to take a rest. 5 of Swords. What you do behind other people's backs. Six of Swords. Oh, carrying the little prince. 7. Don't mind me, I'm just stealing all your swords. The 8. That's an interesting one. But not necessarily a bad one. I kind of like it, I think. But I need time to, you know, sit with it a bit more. 9 of Swords. Yeah, it's that stage when we don't even want to accept help from the outside, because we just are so in our own head. And I was curious how the 10 would look like. I kind of like this because they didn't, you know, kill the prince or the rose or whatever. All the swords are in the planet, which is as equally painful for them as anything else. So I quite like this one, because you can see that they are, you know, sitting here feeling lost and feeling everything is over. It's a good one, because it's not as heavy image wise, but has the seriousness. Page of Swords. And seriously, all families and sirens had to go on. I mean, I was almost done with this video. 9 of Swords. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but it's never a good sign when you can hear sirens this loud. So hopefully it's nothing horrible. Queen of Swords. Oh, I like her reading a book. And she has that point of view on the bird. I'm quite curious why is... Oh, it's... Okay, I was blind. It's a fox. Or something like that, you know, curled up. Not a cat, but yeah, more like a fox. Because at first I was like, why are there strange shape over there? Now I was like, okay, that's an animal. And the last, the King of Swords, who looks quite old and tired. But it kind of works for me with the King of Swords, because the King of Swords is that one card that, or energy when you have to make those tough decisions, and you can see that on him, that he knows that the decision he has to make carries weight. Which is a good one. So yeah, I pretty much love this deck already, and I'm so glad it was fully illustrated and not a peep deck. I will have to etch this, but I don't think I can do anything light, because the cards are already kind of in a grayish blue color because of all the paints from the beginning. So, but this dark bluish thing going on in the back is something that I think I'm gonna match it with something like this. But yeah, I like it, and it feels, it shuffles nicely overhead. I don't know if I can try shuffle it, because it might, I mean, I'm gonna try, but sorry if the camera moves. Oh yeah, it's a little earthquake for you. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a good riffle shuffler, but it works for me. It worked for me. So everyone who, you know, shuffles like that will love this one. Should we get one card for? Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to do the reverse as well. Let's get one card for whoever endured this long ass walkthrough. What's the message for them? Oh, the Seven of Wands. Okay, let's check the guidebook for that. Why the Seven of Wands? What do we have to protect? Seven of Wands. Okay, so this is the lamplighter, which I completely forgot that it was in the story. So yeah, the lamplighter works on his tiny planet. The Seven of Wands depicts a conflict of opposing spiritual forces. Oh, okay. The established strength and victory of the Six of Wands is tested in the Seven. Just like the lamplighter is put to the test to keep his light shining, we are all tested to keep our soul alive and amid adverse conditions. Oh, I like this one. So it's not just, you know, protect yourself, but this is your protect your spiritual growth. So yeah, whoever got this message, it was for you, or for me as well, I guess. And I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough. I really like this deck. I can't wait to work for it. I can't wait to read the book again and to actually understand it. And if you pick it up, please do let me know, or what's your opinion about it in the comments down below. And if you want to book a reading with me, there will be a link for my Etsy shop as soon as I can manage to open it. But by the time this one goes up, hopefully everything is working. Or if not, there's gonna be information about it in the description. You can always find me for a free quick one card reading on Instagram. Just DM me your question and I you know, get back to you as soon as I can. Please like this video if you liked it, consider subscribing, and yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.